So this is the vibe I'm getting today. Wisdom. You've been here before and you know what to do, yet you fear disappointing others. The wise choice may not be the popular choice, but choose for the highest good in the situation. Caring connection. A new supportive relationship is on the horizon. It might be a kindred spirit or possibly even romance. It could be someone new or the deepening of an existing relationship. Asking you to open your heart to this new connection. So it's 10, 10, 10. That's cool. 10, 10, 10. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse today. Life area, health and wellness is up for us today. All right, so let's connect. Take a deep breath in. Let's ask our angels, saints, ancestors, and guides into our space to provide love and divine messages for our highest and greatest good. We're surrounded in divine white light and love. So it is. Okay, let's get you guys some advice. I like the bottom two cards. Walk away, walk away, scattered energy. Let's see what this is. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. All right. Okay. Cool. That's a good advice here. That's a good advice. Let's see. Let's get one more. Okay. So we're gonna do these. Okay. Okay. Oh, we're getting a lot for this one. Health and wellness. Stuck in fear. Enabling. There is someone you're helping, or are you? In reality, you may be enabling them to continue in negative patterns and never take full responsibility for themselves. Step back and let things play out and let them experience what they need to experience. Or this could be you. So let's talk about this walking away. You're wasting your precious energy on something that will not bear fruit. So where in your life are you giving your power away to something that may not be in alignment with you in this moment or going forward? It's time to turn your attention to things that are more aligned to your soul's purpose. We have scattered energy. It seems like maybe there's a little bit too much going on your plate there. Maybe you've lost a bit of focus. This is causing you to feel exhausted and overwhelmed. There could be a benefit to prioritizing your well-being and creating a new plan so it's not everything all at once, and you can kind of like stagger things or offload things, like hire someone else to do it or find creative ways to barter. Maybe someone has a service that you could benefit from, vice versa. I feel like there's multiple ways to accomplish something. And if you need to create a new plan, be adaptable, okay? I do feel like there's a lot of things that you might feel you're responsible for, but I feel like this is something for you to kind of like be reminded to get back to focus. And then we have professional assistance. It may be time to seek wise counsel, right? I was kind of like picking up like, oh, maybe we need to reach out and ask for some assistance. This could be in any life area, not just the health and wellness one. I feel like this could be from like legal or financial advice to, and maybe even more specifically to like personal needs, counseling, therapy, that kind of stuff. So maybe there's an opportunity for mentoring even learning something new, expanding your wisdom, your knowledge. I feel like you understand that this takes a lot of patience. You may have a desired result and it's not quite arriving as fast as you'd like. I feel like you're being asked to not give up. Everything comes in divine time. Perhaps there's something to learn or karma to clear before it will arrive. Okay, it's like you're not missing out. Authenticity, be your divine self at all times. You weren't designed to fit in at all. I feel like you've learned this, okay? And your whole life, you always question like why people did what they did, acted the way they acted. Like, I feel like you've experienced a lot of like messiness, right? But I feel like it wasn't necessarily your messiness, but I feel like a lot of it was enacted as it relates to you being different, okay? So I feel like you're breaking away from expectations and fully expressing yourself in your own unique way, and you'll be a magnet for success. Okay, so this is you not caring or relying on what others want for you. I feel like when it comes to something that's not bearing fruit, it's time to turn your attention to things more aligned to your soul's purpose. And then there was this energy of like not enabling and continuing negative patterns so that there isn't responsibility. I feel like this is also related. Then we have acceptance. You may be disappointed with a recent outcome. Remember, if one door closes, you're being redirected to the one that will actually be aligned with your true soul path. Okay, so just kind of accept that if something's not for you, it's not for you. And you will see clearly and you will know clearly that that's not for you, and that rejection is protection so that there can be a release of attachments. All right, like you're not meant to take this all with you, okay? There's something you need to let go of. It's either like a limiting belief, an untruth, or a negative behavior. It's holding you back and keeping you from stepping into your true potential and happiness. So maybe there's a need to do a bit of an inventory, okay? I feel like there's some shadow work here, some journaling even, or just some like processing. You know, a lot of this is kind of like residual, all right? Strategy and planning. Your actions have taken you to a new phase, right? In your spiritual evolution. Yes, now is the time to plan and strategize for the highest possible outcome. Absolutely. I love that, like, this is a whole process playing out. And I love that fact that, like, you're thinking of all the things that could go wrong. However, you know how to flip that switch. I feel like, what about all the things that could go right? I feel like this is that paradigm shift in your mindset, okay? Beliefs make manifest, all right? So take inspired action anyway, okay? All right, I love that for your health and wellness. So this is really talking about, like, you know, maybe seek somebody who can help you maybe eat cleaner, prioritize and manage things in life. Maybe there are things that like you don't need to take care of. Maybe somebody else can. Maybe there's an opportunity to put responsibilities on others who should be doing them. Otherwise, there could be enabling going on. And just a little bit of patience with yourself and the process. There's still things playing out here. Okay, and remember that you control your reality. And so that is usually from a place of like thought. Okay, so maybe work towards your desired reality. And what are all those things? Maybe some visioning could help with some of like, you know, what you're trying to call in, maybe the next layer of steps. So maybe like a bit of brainstorming, a bit of strategizing would help you find clarity, okay? And I feel like it really, this very much is like is a mindset thing. And I feel like once you kind of like release some of this energy, I'm getting like maybe some Reiki healing would be good. But I would say that a lot of times, this is kind of like the end of a cycle, if you will. With some things, some call outs, some takeaways to continue with. I feel like, you're realizing that you don't fit in and you're not meant to. You understand there's a process playing out. I feel like you've accepted quite a bit, and you understand that things are not meant for you. Sometimes detachment can be tough, right? Releasing attachments. But I feel like you're on your way. This is something that's in process. Okay? So you're being called to like focus on what could go right, not what could go wrong, and plan accordingly. Plan according to the fact that it is already yours. Okay? It's already yours. All right. What else do we got? I'm gonna pull a little tarot on this. That's okay. We'll just clarify these. Can you give us a bit of like walk away? What's your advice regarding walking away and not wasting your time on something that's not gonna bear fruit? It's time to turn your attention to things more aligned. Let's see. The Emperor. Okay, this is you being a leader, not a follower. This also could be you as like someone who's connecting or is in a position of stature. Like this is the Emperor. This Emperor talks about like having authority, right? So I feel like this is you calling back your power and you being in charge of your life and your reality and how things play out. All right, let me have the Sun. Okay, so you could be a single parent. You could be focused on your masculine energy because what you're working towards requires action. And then I'm also getting, this could be representing like maybe a job, right? And what that job represents or what that career represents. It may cater to the masculine energy. So maybe you're being called to like move towards something that's going to bear fruit. And something that would bear fruit would be something that's like feminine energy. So I'm getting like maybe you're moving from like a bit of a shift here when it comes to how and what you do. So interesting that the Emperor came out for that. I feel like you're someone who makes decisions, right? And they don't just impact you. So you tend to have to like consider all the factors. And then I also have, this is you, if there's things that are kind of like, again, off track, lack of focus, this is you, again, like taking charge, and this is Aries energy. So this is going to be passion, purpose, fiery energy. All right, what's the scattered energy all about? Can you tell me about this? Okay, so this feels like, look at Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of plates, okay? There's a lot of plates. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot that you are responsible for. Maybe you needed some assistance. How could you be open to receive help, okay? Or do you feel like you need to do it all by yourself? I feel like you're exhausted possibly and overwhelmed. So maybe there's things that just don't need your attention and they need to be let go of. Release the attachment to having to do this. It's like, if you find yourself saying like, I should do this, or I wish I did this, or woulda, coulda, shoulda, I feel like those things on that woulda, coulda, shoulda list don't need to be on your list. So maybe like get a planner, use the planner. That way you're only focusing on the present moment, and within the next 48 hours, you can always like plan things ahead, and as you move closer to it, kind of like adjust. But I feel like you don't need to focus on it all right? You have too much on your plate and you've lost your focus. So you're kind of just like, okay, well, what should I be working on, right? So there's that. Eight of Swords. So this also can be, maybe you're not finishing whatever this is because there's some sort of limiting belief. Maybe a fear, stuck in fear. You're thinking of all the things that could go wrong, which can be crippling. So maybe it's about all the things that could go right. All right. Yeah, we're changing our pattern here. Okay, this very much could have been something you've overcome or being asked to overcome. Interesting. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. Prioritize and create a new plan. And then we have the Sun. Ask for divine assistance. It says personal assistance. Oh, and then we have the Sun. Okay, you are a beautiful being. Okay. And this also can be like wise counsel. Okay, so you could be someone who shares counsel, but also is one to be open to receive it. This also can be, like the Queen of Cups is someone who's very like, abundant in their own right and has like the flowing consciousness kind of just at her fingertips, and she can just bend down and fill her cup back up, and you know, there's plenty. It's a big chalice. She shares. I feel like you're meant to share. You provide personal and professional assistance. This also can be you receiving some sort of counseling or therapy, and kind of like working on managing your own emotions. And I feel like through this process, you've kind of learned to protect your heart. Not everybody gets access to you like they may have before. So this could also be like managing, you know, your emotions and how, you know, in your relationships, how you show up, as well as like, you're not depleting your energy, right? Depleting yourself for the sake of others. So this would be like balancing like the people pleasing and the enabling and any kind of codependencies and any of that kind of stuff. I would definitely say you have more of an understanding now, right? Of maybe what you've experienced, okay? And how this plays out. Okay. Let's see. Are you taking all these? Okay. What we have is the Four of Pentacles. Okay. It's like holding on, right? Like tightly. This is maybe some things that we need to maybe get rid of, right? This also can be, there could be a bit of wanting to hold on to you, okay? Because there is some sort of fear, some sort of loss, some sort of regret, some sort of heaviness, okay? Maybe about like where you live, where you work. Maybe it's hard for you to sever ties and move on towards something, and maybe you're needing patience. Your desired result isn't arriving fast enough. The universe is asking for you not to give up just yet. Okay, and then it says, perhaps there is something to learn or karma to clear before it will arrive. So I feel like this very much could be like karma's at play right now. And then once this is kind of like, it'll be clear, fresh start, new beginning, a new outlook on life, seeing things differently and being able to leave the past behind free and clear. Interesting. It's like holding on to things so tightly. I feel like there could be like grudges or greed or like refusing to change. This also can be like holding on to things for the sake of like not feeling like you have enough, or, you know, having that like mentality that like material things are more important, and you know, maybe there's a need to kind of prioritize and maybe release things material wise that are no longer serving you. They're almost burdening you at this time. You could be like cleaning things out, releasing attachments. I feel like this is karma though. I don't know that it's necessarily for you, but I do feel like this is happening as a result of you. And as a result of that, like things that haven't been arriving fast enough because this is playing out. is what I'm getting. Okay. So let's talk about the authenticity. Be your divine self at all times. You weren't designed to fit in. Break away from expectations and fully express yourself in your own unique way. And you'll be a magnet for success. I feel like regardless of what's been going on behind the scenes, you're moving on. However, it's not an easy path. Look at, all right. I feel like you tend to be affected by being in your authenticity. Okay. So I feel like maybe in the past when you were growing up, you experienced a bit of this. You experienced a bit of backlash for being unique or standing out. But then when you tried to blend in, nothing worked out for you. So it's kind of like a catch-22 or bitter, like a sword, right? It's like, I'm seeing the Ace of Swords here. All right. I'm getting like, this would represent the bitter sweetness of being authentic, being unbiased, being and having clarity. You weren't designed to fit in. You weren't designed to fit in. I mean, the Queen of Cups is someone who's like empathic, psychic. Look at Knight of Swords. That's like blunt, pessimistic, almost direct communication. Okay, so I feel like speak your truth, regardless of who likes it or not. It's, if they don't like it, then that's for them. You're still being asked to be yourself no matter what. I feel like you take risks that people are not favorable to take. Like they wouldn't take it themselves. So they have this fear and it almost like gets projected onto you as if it's yours and it's not. That can be annoying. 2222 on my timer. All right, Knight of Swords. All right. Speak your most authentic truth. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. And Judgment. I feel like, you have definitely gone through some sort of like initiation. Okay. This is some sort of like, you pick up information, you're like a receiver. Okay. It's almost like this is the dial and you're like receiving with the swords and it comes in like fast. Like this is like divine intervention, divine assistance, divine guidance. So you very much could be someone who connects to the Akash. You could be, and then we have Judgment. So I'm getting like Akashic records, universal law. Like you might be like an officer of the court, the karmic board. You could be someone who witnesses, speaks the truth, can see both sides of a situation, and speak clearly on it, directly, authentic energy here. And then I have the Wheel of Fortune. So this tells me like something's closing. All right. And I feel like there might have been opposition here. Okay. Towards you, like almost like attack, attack, attack for being authentic, for being real, for being truthful, for having integrity. So I feel like that's what we were talking about earlier is like, maybe there's some karma playing out here and I'm getting, this is confirmation of that. Okay, Judgment is like an awakening, an awareness, a revelation. The truth is being revealed here, and you could be the truth teller. Page of Swords. Okay, you're the witness. You're the divine observer. Remember, if one door closes, you're being redirected to one that will soon open to your true path. Or do you want this? You want this in reverse? Or you want this in the upright? Is this for this card? Yes. Okay. Then we have the Chariot. Wow. So it says acceptance. You may be disappointed with a recent outcome. Remember, if one door closes, you're being redirected. Hi, Ace of Swords. To one that will soon open to your true soul's path. Chariot. All right, you've like made it some sort of agreement, contract. You have a soul contract here. All right, so whatever's not for you will be removed, whether you like it or not. But I feel like they give you the guidance and they are helping you along your path. I feel like you have strong will, you're very connected, you're very devoted, you're very committed. And this is you overcoming and persevering through any challenge. I feel like you're being open to your true soul's path, and this is so awesome. So you woke up. You woke up. All right, let's talk about releasing attachments. There's something you need to let go of. Could have something to do with relationships. Could also have something to do with like choices in life and the guidance you receive regarding these choices, like paying attention to your intuition. Are you paying attention to signs and synchronicities? What about the angel numbers? I feel like, you know, there's some sort of truth about a situation that maybe could have been holding you back or keeping you from stepping into your true potential and happiness. All right. We'll get a bit more on that one. So I feel like you receive divine guidance in decision making. Look, then we have the Queen of Swords. You receive divine guidance when it comes to decision making. You're very mind over matter. You're very authentic, okay? The sword is straight up, so you're straight up. I feel like you expect people to come correct, okay? And if they don't come correct, then I'm getting like judgment plays out for them, whether they like to admit that or not. I do have the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. So this could be like someone who is on a journey. You could be the one on the journey, or you could be helping those on the path, on the quest, on the journey. And there's something that's coming towards you slow and steady. I feel like this is something maybe to help in a cause. Maybe it's something you stand up for. Okay, I feel like there could be some sort of offer. Or this could be you moving on your path, okay? This is this confirming the attachments? Releasing attachments? This is strategy and planning. Okay. So this is kind of like, again, like receiving the guidance, receiving the direction, the advice, having the clarity and the knowing as to what order in which to do things, which ones are worth your investment, which ones are not, which ones are worth standing up for. It's like picking your battles. You know, your actions have taken you to a new phase. Here's that new phase. All right. And your spiritual evolution would definitely be the Nine of Wands. Now is the time to plan, okay, and strategize for the highest possible outcome. Okay. And then this is like this being in your physical reality. Okay. Because it's earth energy. Victory and success. Okay. I feel like there is an untruth regarding a dynamic here, maybe about your even abilities as it relates to this whole experience with this person or in relationships. I feel like it's either a limiting belief, you need to let it go, or it's untruth or negative behavior. So maybe you find those in relationships that mirror something back to you so that you can receive divine guidance on how to heal from it, how to release it, how to move past it. Interesting. I feel like that's also a bit of this. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, whatever you're planning, stay focused. Yeah, look at 10 of Pentacles. It doesn't get any better than that. Like, what are you worried about? You're thinking of all the things that could go wrong, but what about all the things that could be right? Like, this is you turning lead into gold, like legit in real life. Okay. It's not in the Bible. It's not an allegory. It's not a story. It's your reality. Okay. So this is something that is going to really have an impact on others, as well as like future. Okay. I feel like you're going to be able to make a difference. Okay. In a really big way. And it's like a paradigm shift, something that has like you changing the way you think and act and operate. And as a result of that, there's inspired action, and it becomes very, very stable, secure, abundant. That's awesome. I feel like this is something that is going to change the game for you. Change the game. Yeah, the moon. Trust your intuition. Okay? Trust that what is unseen will be revealed to you in due time. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Interesting. I feel like there's no fear when you have faith. So know that you have God's love, and you are surrounded in God's love. Creator, source, the one, the all. I am always with you, child. Beautiful. Well, that's our reading for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like you're on the road to your bliss, your happiness, your oneness, your higher consciousness. I feel like what you're doing is you're helping others on their path of reaching higher consciousness. And so you might be somebody who is a guide along the way, because there's so much out there and it's hard to trust and know what to believe. And I feel like you hold this vibration about you. You have this like energy about you that is undeniable. And you're going to help others go from one to the other through some sort of like paradigm shift, some sort of like as above, so below, like the law of rhythm and how to work with the law of rhythm. There's so many different, like the polarity of things and the opposites, and how to do all these awesome things. Okay. So that might also resonate with you. Okay, so confirmation if it does, confirmation if this is like you're working this path yourself. Just know that like you're not alone. You have support, okay, and protection. All right, I feel like whatever's been going on behind the scenes here, let it play out naturally. You don't need to be involved. Stay your true, authentic self. All right, you do have something that is going to be an incredible new experience. All right. And I feel like you're leaving behind what no longer serves you. Okay. And this could be people, this could be family, this could be where you work, where you live. Like it could be all of those things. And it also can be people from the past who didn't treat you the right way. Okay. I feel like this is like emotional healing. This is like understanding like all that you experience in this life, and your emotions, your abilities, your empathy, it's like your ESP, you're tapped in, you're so tapped in. You could be a water sign. Doesn't have to be though, but I feel like you're just in flow. And you're in order to create, we have the blueprint, right? The seeds, right? And these sunflowers, and we need the sun, and we also need water. We need a lot of water. So it's like restoring the feminine. Okay, is what I'm getting. You are restoring the feminine. So the feminine energy, you seem to like come across that within any soul and turn that light on. I just saw like a light flicker. Okay, so you very much could be someone who, you know, turns people's lights on, right? Look, I feel like you have a lot of projects. I feel like let's prioritize. Okay? And I feel like you're a boss, regardless of gender. You're a boss. Remember that. Remember that you're the boss. Okay? You might not like authority. You might be someone who doesn't like to be told what to do or how to do it. You don't like to be micromanaged. You're like, leave me alone. That very much could like call to you. Yeah. All right. So also just know that like you're the boss regardless. And you're being called to take a leading position. All right. No more playing it safe. But gather the info, gather what you need. If you need other resources outside, like a professional, then do it. Especially if it's going to help align you. Okay? So that you can continue to grow what you've already established. Because there's quite a bit here established already. You're just going to be growing it further, nurturing it even. But you will reap the benefits. Okay? I love you guys. Bye now.